It's the Eagle Community Television Forum with your host, Gary Shorman.
Hi everyone, I'm Gary Shorman and this is the Forum on Eagle Community Television. It's nice to have you watching along, and I want to say thanks to Mike Kerner for filling in for me for the last couple of weeks. It's been a busy week here, but it's good to be back home. Our guest today is Martin Straub, and Martin is the principal at Hays High. Most people call you Marty, so I'll go with Marty. How's that sound?
Good for me, thank you.
Good to have you on our program here, and you know what, you're finished, believe it or not, the second year as a principal at Hays High. Has it gone fast?
It's been a whirlwind. It's been awesome. It's been stressful at times, and I just want you to know I've earned my keep, and I'll continue to work hard. But it's been a good 2 years. Gary.
You know, when you look at this second year, you look back, what were some of the high points of the year 2014-15?
I've been so very proud of our number one, our students. You know, when you have new leadership at the principalship, students can respond different ways, and I think they've been open to different ideas and different culture. We're out in the building, we're out in the classrooms a lot. I think that kids want us to know what's going on in the classroom. Kids want us to talk to them. They want us to know. They want to know that we know them, and we know them as people, not just students. So it's been fun to get to know our kids. I'm very, very proud of the climate that we have at Hays High School. It's very, very welcoming. Today, for example, Craig Monteifel, our band director, had our students with special needs in our front office, and they were playing recorders. They were doing a tour of sorts, if you will. Our kids are awesome with kids, and they're awesome with adults too. So I'm very proud of that welcoming environment in our school.
You know, sometimes you set the pace as a leader, or you're the leader in the high school, and you started out, I think, the year with the Ice Bucket Challenge. And when you see that going on with people throughout the school, it sort of really changes the atmosphere and makes it a team atmosphere, maybe versus those who are in charge, maybe those who are the students. And it sets a different kind of goals for the year.
You know, it's not my goal to be a friend to our kids, but it's my goal for them to respect me and me to show respect to them, and to also laugh at myself. That Ice Bucket Challenge was anything but fun when that bucket went over our heads. But I'll tell you what, Gary, we also had the Hays Police Department out there one day too, and it showed a different side of our kids to the police and the different sides of the police to our kids. They don't always see each other in the most friendly circumstances, and it was a very respectful environment. I was so very proud of our kids, the way they treated our guests on campus that day.
You've just finished up another kind of campaign also about relationships that you've been involved with here as we ended up this school year. How did that turn out? You
know, Gary, if you look at the research lately, the 14 through 19-year-old teenagers, those relationships are on the rocks right now, and abusive relationships, especially young men towards young women, is on the rise. Every other age group is going down. That was a very, very important call to us, that we have to acknowledge that, and we can't stop it. We don't follow the kids around 24/7, but we do know that we can influence them. We can help them find resources to help themselves. We can help friends be able to identify those dangerous relationships and help their friends and their families get those kids out of those relationships. So.
And you did that with the Janice campaign program and Kurt and Christy Brungart and their involvement.
Yes, sir. They were very instrumental in that. And it's just, we really didn't want to just do a one-stop shop program, because research really doesn't support that. We really addressed the whole theme of we are doing some of the coaching boys to men through our coaches. We do bystander intervention with some of our classes. We're teaching our girls in aerobics classes some self-defense techniques. Kids really need to be armed with a lot of different resources in those situations. We want them safe. We absolutely want them safe.
One of the things when you look at the school year, there's so many things built into it. You know, there may be the ABCs, the reading, writing, arithmetic, all that sort of thing you have to get in, but there's so much more to it. You know, we were talking about the social side of it, social media, all those things that tie in. But even with all that involved, it was really a fantastic year at Hays High from a curriculum standpoint, but some of the successes that were involved this year.
Well, you know, we exist because of academics, and I don't apologize for that. Our number one priority is teaching, and teaching hard and teaching smart, and helping kids learn in whatever way possible. We think technology is an important part of that, not the only way, but an important way. Every time I bring parents in, I say, well, how many of you would say that your students will use technology less in the future as adults? Nobody can put their hands up. We talk about cell phones. Those are computers. The cell phone that you and I have on ourselves right now have more potential than what a desktop computer used to have when I started in this business. So we need to tool our kids for the future. And for us to stay back and say, we're not going to put technology in the hands of kids because they can get in trouble with it, is the irresponsible thing to do. It may be more risky to put technology in their hands, but we have to set parameters and we have to teach them appropriate and inappropriate use too.
One of the things that makes education with that a tool is the access. It's so quick to be able to find answers and research and tools that you can go online with, whether it be just taking a photo. I said in an interview the other day, and there was a set of World Book encyclopedias off to one side, and if you and I had a tool like this where we could type in information or go dig through a World Book encyclopedia that had out-of-date information, what would we do? And our students are gaining access so quick on this, and that applies to really all levels of school, correct?
Absolutely. You know, on the way over here, when I was going out to my truck, a teacher was walking with me. She's a social studies teacher, Abby Maska, coaches our softball team. She said, Mr. Straub, can I ask you one thing? She said, I've been really thinking about this. What are the 3 skills we should develop out of our social studies curriculum at Hayes High School? To me, it was very easy, and we both agreed that basically it's been able to find reputable information, research it, understand it, write it, present it, and have it support our arguments. Have a reason for the reason we believe things, not just have that because you hate this person or you dislike this other person, but be able to convey those messages, critically think, critically read, and decide what is reputable or irresponsible information out there. Very, very important teaching spot for our kids.
I was looking down the list. There's everything from the school musical that was nominated for 13 awards. DECA had excellent results at nationals. Journalism is there. The school newspaper is there. Just a great list of awards along the line that go back into that education process.
You know, if one walks, and you've been in our school many times, Gary, I know, but if you walk our school, you'll see that structurally we have some issues. But I want you to know the quality that we are able to produce, whether it be in journalism or DECA or the musical or band, down in the FFA program, in our electric car. Our electric car won the state again this year. We really do some good things. It would be exciting to see what Johnny Matlock might be able to do with an auditorium of 900 seats, because I looked at the thousands of man-hours that took place in there with dozens and dozens of kids and their parents and volunteers, turning our Gym A into an auditorium, a dinner theater, if you will. I would rather him be working with kids singing and acting and producing. But it is what it is. But I'm very, very proud of the quality programs that we have. I'm so very proud of our journalism and the quality that we have, not only on our website, but our written newspaper, our online edition of the Guide On. It's just exciting. I'm very proud of the kids. And the kids take pride in that. The kids take pride. And it's when you stop them in the halls and say, that was an awesome edition, or hey, I really disagreed with your story, but you wrote it well, they really are happy that we're excited about their success too.
Well, Marty, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. I know one of the things that is happening not only in the teaching profession, but others is, say changing of the guard isn't the right word, but as people retire and move on, bringing new people in. I know there's some changes. We have a new football coach coming in and several changes. We're going to come back after our break and talk about that as to what's going to be happening in 2015-16. Some exciting things. Our guest is Martin Straub, who is a principal at Hayes High. Back with more after this from Hayes Med.
Hayes Med is your first and best choice for healthcare. They're the only facility providing tertiary level services in this region. With more than 70 physicians and 26 specialties ranging from heart, orthopedic, spine care, cancer, obstetrics and gynecology, wound care, rehabilitation and surgery, including the Da Vinci robotic surgery, Hayes Med is your comprehensive health provider for people throughout Western Kansas. Hayes Med, helping people be healthy.
It's a beautiful day in our super high-speed internet great customer service neighborhood. Like you, this is where we live. In fact, our company is employee-owned, so it's our goal to improve the quality of life for everyone in our community by delivering faster, more reliable internet, clearer, more feature-laden phone service, quality TV channels, all with the level of customer service you'd expect from people who are your neighbors. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Welcome back to the second half of our forum here on Eagle Community Television. The forum's brought to you by Hayes Med. If you have any ideas or suggestions, things you'd like to hear us talk about here on the forum, send me a note, gary.shorman@eaglecom.net. I'd like to hear from you. Our guest is Marty Straub from Hayes High. He's the principal there, finishing up his second year at Hayes High. You know, I was looking down this list. There's girls won state golf, state won national or state journalism won. We had another thing that's kind of neat. Melinda Cross, who's in the Spanish side of things, she won Kansas Advisor of the Year. Another important role the schools play.
Absolutely. We've always believed that the only way you teach students how to lead is give them that experience, and we can do the work for them, and then we can make them trophies up there. But to give them true responsibility is leadership. Melinda and Lisa Renz, the co-sponsor of Student Council, had just done an outstanding job. So very happy for Melinda. She's retiring this year. Not so happy about that, but certainly wish her the very best. She came to us from Russell, hired her away one summer many years ago, and it was one of the best hires I've ever made is at Hayes High School as an assistant principal at that time. She's going to retire though, and we're all replaceable.
We talked about that, you know, doing that, and that sort of leads us into that question. When you look at 2015, this next year, there will be some changes up there.
We will have significant staff changes. We're losing Elisa Caldwell in math. We are losing a science teacher, Mr. Monteifel over in band, Mrs. Flax down in art. But I really firmly believe if you have a strong system and strong leadership and develop a system that indoctrinates and mentors and helps people along, and you go out and number one, recruit the best you can, and then retain the best you can, then you can have a successful system. And in our system, it's school. We feel very fortunate for the young people that we're hiring, and I just have to smile because I want to be in their rooms first day, not to see their nervousness, but their excitement and their passion, and looking forward to that. Again, really want to thank our retirees for the years of service. Awesome people out in the community too. Real givers.
Where do you find your new teachers that are coming into the system? Because as many of us hear some of the challenges that go into that, it's rewarding to me that people still want to go out and be a teacher and help our kids be better people and go and do great things.
This probably isn't going to surprise you, but I would say well over half of the people we interview come from families of educators. Mom and dad, they're educators, or my mom is a principal, or my dad is a superintendent. Over half of the people we interview, I would say, come from educational backgrounds. They know they're probably not going to be the wealthiest people in the community, but the lives that they will change, and they really believe this, and it's true. The effect that you can have on a community is probably unsurpassed when it comes to teaching. The effect that your wife has on kids every day when she takes good care of them, no one else gets to do that. No one else gets to do that. And she probably gets hugs at the elementary schools.
And other places we walk around and see those students,
Yes,
and you see that sort of commitment back and forth of people that do that because it's the right thing and something they love to do, maybe versus some of the other benefits that go with that.
Yes, sir.
When you look at education, Marty, as you look down the road, you see things like this. You mentioned, you know, the computer that everybody carries in their hand, the technology going forward. What do you see over the next few years, the direction of education, not only in technology, but how do we apply that to make it effective over the next few years?
Well, we still believe that people skills are important. We still believe showing respect and being able to present yourself in an articulate, intelligent manner really makes a difference, gives a kid a leg up, if you will. On the other hand, we also can't ignore the fact that a blended learning, where kids being able to be successful learning through different means, whether it be technology or building, creating, has to take place too. You know, some people feel like the privatization of education is around the corner. You know, I'm an old social studies teacher that really believes that every person deserves, not just would like, but deserves quality education. The value of education to every community is the productivity of their citizenry. And if we better educate our kids and we teach them values and communication skills, I think you can have a strong community. But technology is not going away. It's not going away. And so we need to teach kids to harness that power and use it in a productive way. always being aware there are others that won't.
Well, and as you look forward, finding the right combination of that is always a challenge. I like one of the things you mentioned about that one-to-one thing, being able to talk and be able to work with a team. And that doesn't always just happen when you're on a computer. And sometimes it's the opposite, because you're dealing with maybe somebody here, but you're not dealing one-on-one. And I think some of the team aspects of the way you put together, whether it be with, I say, a golf team, or whether it be with a musical team, to have that group together, because when you get out in business, it takes a team to make a business successful, and that person successful as well.
Well, absolutely. But even if you think about how technology has changed, even with the power of file sharing, and the social media is just one side of that, but file sharing with Google Docs. We see classes of kids helping one another revise through digital media. They're sitting at the desk, but they're able to make comments on the writing that you maybe just did. So again, the whole idea is to communicate and help one another, but sometimes the digital media can help us do that as well.
Marty, if somebody wants to become engaged, they don't, and when your kids are there, it seems like, you know, I used to walk the hallways quite a bit because my kids were there. How can somebody that's maybe past that wants to still be engaged versus maybe just reading the headlines of what goes on, you know, on things, how can they get engaged? I know there's some ways through the school, and you can support academic clubs and that sort of thing.
Absolutely. You know, we have a band booster club, orchestra booster club, vocal booster club, athletic booster club, academic booster club, and if you don't like any of those, you can be on my site council. I have had the best site council this year, 25 regular attendees. Some people would rather have 8 or 10. To me, if I could have 30, I'd have 30. These folks are engaged, they care, they ask good questions, not always easy questions, but if you really want to know what's going on in school, come to school. Have lunch with us. I'll buy you a $3 lunch, and we have a lot of good options at Hayes High School, and good quality, by the way. But there are a lot of groups. My goodness.
So they just need to find you
and ask me for lunch.
And say, hey, buy me lunch and tell me how I can be involved, right?
Really, if a person has a student at Hayes High School and they want to be on our site council, I would sure ask them to just email me, call Hayes High School. It is not by election, it is not by my selection. It's an open invitation to parents, and we have had an awesome year. We had a very, very strong academic booster club. They're helping run our awards program, and we're just looking forward to it. A lot of ways, Gary.
Marty, thanks for being on our program today.
Thanks for having me, Gary.
Marty Straub has been our guest here on the forum today, and finishing up his second year, an exciting year at Hayes High with another year to go, 2015-16 coming up.
Thanks, sir.
Go get him. Thanks for watching the forum program here on Eagle Community Television. It's brought to you by Hayes Med and by Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Hayes Med is your first and best choice for healthcare. They're the only facility providing tertiary level services in this region. With more than 70 physicians and 26 specialties ranging from heart, orthopedic, spine care, cancer, obstetrics and gynecology, wound care, rehabilitation and surgery, including the Da Vinci robotic surgery, Hayes Med is your comprehensive health provider for people throughout Western Kansas. Hayes Med, helping people be healthy.